Hi, this is Joy Truscott. Just have a little listen to this and let's talk about the energy in devastation. It certainly is an energy field that we are all experiencing to a great degree at the moment. The world is erupting and we're just not too sure what we should do about this. But there are some ideas that we can hold if we can remember who we are. We are divine beings of light and love, and we hold the God code within us. We are the holders of a code, a frequency, a design that is already within us. And perhaps we'll find it this time. Perhaps we'll find a way to redesign our humanity. May that be. We are being activated in the lowest vibration of hate, rage, fear, anger, loathing, all low vibrations, guilt, shame, blame, all those low vibrations, we're being activated in it. And we know we're being manipulated. There is this horror, but there's also those who are activating it, going out and manipulating it. Little bits here and a little bit there and a little bit there. And when that comes in, your brain has got to take all these tiny bits and it's got to create a story that your awareness can understand and process. So it's exactly what happens when we receive information in day-to-day living. We receive a little bit of information through our eyes, our vision, and through our hearing, our taste, touch, sound, through our perceptions. We receive bits of information. They're pockets of information. They go into the different parts of the brain. And they sit there in their little pockets and they're hard to process because they sit in isolation. And that's what's happening with us now. We've got these pockets of information that are sitting in isolation, which make us feel helpless and useless. The brain, what it has to do, it has to pull this information together to the hippocampus, and it's got to make sense of it. It's got to collate it. And then it's got to offer you the best representation of what is outside here that you can interpret and understand as a human. And that's the job of the hippocampus. But if we distort the hippocampus in our brain, all we've got is firing terror and signals and, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, all around our brain. If we don't activate our hippocampus and bring it to some kind of awareness, resolution, and order, understanding, then we stay scattered and completely useless inside of this thing. We don't know how to go, to be, to hold. Another way we could look at the hippocampus as the beings of light, the beings that know and can see what's going on, know how treacherous it is in all its compartments, and still stay connected to bringing a one thought, a oneness to that connection. And if that's being destroyed in us by manipulation of television and all these stories that we're seeing, the best thing to do is remember that you're a light worker. That does not help you to plug into any of that, because the only way that you can help is if you become the hippocampus of your line. You become the one that collates all this information and you reactivate it in a way that makes sense, that has light, that holds a higher vibration, because it's so scattered, so fragmented, so disruptive. And that's the whole purpose of this, is to disrupt. It's the way to create chaos in a war, in the modern day war. And even in the ancient wars, they did that. They would have many, many sites where it would ignite. And the people who in it like, oh, where do we go? Which one should we do first? Which one should we put out? Many fires to put out, but you can't. Then what do? You just go, oh my gosh, deer in headlights, I can't do anything. So it's a highly manipulative strategy. It's activating every story of horror that humanity has known through all time. And because of that, we also know at the exact same point of how horrendous it is, we know what it is that we would choose. And that's what we've got to move towards. We've got to keep choosing, choose and choose well. Choose what we know with the deepest part of us is truth, peace, and graciousness and integrity. This is who we are as a species. This is humanity. We have not behaved any differently through all time. You go look at all history through all time. We've not yet been able to behave in a better way. That level of consciousness has got to awaken now. And the ones who are going to awaken it are the ones who can feel so deeply what the story is and remember who they are. Remember that we are the holders of a light energy, and with all our strength and all our courage, we will continue to hold it. Even though it's hideous, even though we've got every reason just to collapse and lie down on the floor and wail until the end of our life. But we have a chance. There is still a chance. Let's use it. The problem is that all the pictures are running in your head. And they're here, and they're blocking all possibility. Do you see how it does that? Just blocks you completely. And the next step is the next step. But in this moment, there's a moment right now, a moment in between, where we can do something amazing, miraculous, beyond words that has never, ever in all history been done. And we've been getting ready for this, for all the light workers who are here on time, for the most important time in our human story. Energy is the subtle missile. You can shoot missiles into any place, and it's a concrete, hard thing that's going to cause devastation. But we have missiles too, and it's energy. And they are subtle, and they're unseen, and they land where we intend them to go. And that's what we got to remember, that those are our beautiful instruments of healing and peace and reconnection. There is no finer time to create an impact than in the impact zone. That's where you create impact. That's where it gets absolutely known. This whole world's eyes are here. The whole world's looking. Imagine if something miraculous happened here, how that would change every human being on this planet's perception and awareness. But remember who you are, my lovey. Even though it's awful, even though your heart's breaking, even though there's all this evidence, remember who you are. That one little facet is made up of all the facets of all your line who went before. And you've got this diamond of awareness, this light energy of all your line with you and holding you. But they can't activate it because they're not here. But energetically, they can bring light into you. But you have to be the one that holds the gracious space. Hold the space, peace, grace, honesty, integrity, companionship, kindness, compassion. Harness the energy. It's so volatile right now, and it's so deeply activated. Now is the time to harness that energy. Our bodies have no suffering at all. We are taken out of the body before impact with a car. We are lifted out the body. Everyone who's had a near-death experience with an impact will tell you this. And when you finish playing in your human body and your human beingness here, you will know that, my love. We are here to experience life so that we can uplift life. So the uplifting experiences we stick around for, because the more we have that, the more it amplifies our energy. But the energies that deplete our frequency, we are taken out before it happens. The vehicle will suffer it, just like the car will crash and smash. But the person inside that vehicle is completely safe. For the ones who are here, who have to see it and feel it. But it's that depth of feeling, that love that we go to such love so quickly. so much compassion so quickly when we're faced with this life that is so raw in front of us. And that turns on something in us that is so powerful that nobody and nothing can switch off. That our soul, our spirit is unscathed, untouched. The divine part of us can never be brutalized or hurt or tortured. Never, ever can it be. Ever. We've had eons of time to make the switch, but we're just too arrogant, too thick-skinned as humanity, so prideful that we won't make the switch for the better. That had to get to this, had to get to the crescendo. It didn't have to, but it had to because we were not going to learn. So this had to play out in the worst possible way. It's just a switch, and we won't choose it if we go into defensiveness, in anger and resistance and hate. We're not going to be able to choose it because there's so much evidence that justifies us taking the stance of anger, hate, revenge. Of course there is. That's what the game has been forever. That's why we keep saying, oh, no, but. We keep making an excuse. They're not seeing the big picture. They're just making this mess here. They can't see what it truly is about. Of course they can't see it because everyone's playing their role that is only this big. They can't see, like the producer of a play, all the roles, all the links, the theme, the realization. They can't see that. They just play and read their lines. I believe in my soul is that all the hideous low frequencies will not be allowed to play out their karma here anymore, that there will be a split. So don't tap into all the hate and the rage. Don't tap into it. It's justified, but it's not the solution. It'll trap you and it'll break you. And you're here for a very, very divine, sacred reason. And you can know that through all your ancestral line. You can know that. Why do you think you came into this family with this legacy as this light worker? Because you are part of it. And you've been inside of this family. You're right inside of this family line that has known persecution for eons of time. So long, so long. Think about what gets created after an aftermath of hideousness, and the beautiful people and the beautiful souls and the music and the architecture and the artistry and the creativity, the kindness and the compassion and the love and the grace, the integrity. Think of that. That's your legacy. You've got all of that. You've got all the courage, all the strength, all their love, their determination, and the ability to rise above it, to find a way. You have got that. So it doesn't matter how many wolves we perceive at the door. Don't go into defense. Don't go into protectiveness. Don't go into fear. Feel it, acknowledge it, hold it as an awareness of an energy. And because they sit right next to each other, two frequencies, two polarities, black and white, yin, yang, masculine, feminine, two energies always sit right next to each other. The deeper this energy is, the deeper, more profound, the exact 180-degree opposite of that is. We must remember that this level indicates the level that is the clarity, the clearness, the love, the kindness. This one, the deeper the distortion, the deeper the opening, more profound the opening. You hold both of them. You don't hold just one. And that means if we go and play just in the one of anger, hate, and revenge, we forget. There's something else that our heart and our soul is asking us to move towards. And we just stay blocked off from the heart with hate and anger, justified, absolutely, understandable, absolutely. but we stay in the place where there is no hope. The vibration is so low, it can only go lower. It cannot get any better. The only way it can get better is if we know this and at the same time hold that yearning for what it is that this is not. This is this, but what is it not? And get that exact frequency, because if you're amplifying this pain, you are also, if you are tuning into it, amplifying the healing balm for that pain, that particular vibration. You are the healer of that particular vibration. Feel it and heal it. Feel it, feel it, feel it, and then heal it. Don't tell yourself you're not allowed to feel it and pretend it's not. It is. See the impact in the moment of your heart and the deep, deep sadness that you're feeling. And then as you're stretching it out, it just becomes soft and hazy. And then just like mist, it disappears. And then every time you breathe in, fill up that space that you've emptied out with this divine light. Let it flow in through the top of your crown, right through your body, through the base of your body and into the earth. And stretching out into the space, all the pain and all the horrors, all the fear, all the distortions. And every time you breathe in, more light.